Well, wealth. What does it mean to each of us? Is it only money, or is it something entirely different, a combination of all things? Joining us this evening is the author of a book called True Family Wealth, Love, Money, and an Inspired Life. Chris Clarke, welcome to What She Said.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
So you're a seasoned money manager, and yet you maintain that accumulating money should not be our ultimate goal. Is money not wealth in your eyes?
It is absolutely part of wealth. But isn't wealth really more about what we treasure most in life and having an abundance of that? So if I were to summarize it, I would say that true wealth is every member of the family living the life that they love with the resources to support their choices. And money's part of that.
Yeah, I know people who say money would be wealth because with money they could buy experiences with their families. They could buy them homes. They could make them happy. They could spend time with them. But to you, that's not the whole Monty.
That's not the whole picture, because I see money as a form of energy. Money is a tool that we use to create, and it's a tool to have the experiences that we want. But everyone's money experience is different. Everyone's relationship with money is different. But what's really at the core is our relationship with ourselves and with each other. That's where true fulfillment comes.
Do you find that that too many people value money too much at the expense of other things?
Yes, absolutely. We are a society that is really driven by accumulating money. And I think that the reason behind that is because we've identified money as security. If we just had more of it, we'd feel safer. We'd feel better. But the reality is that, as I said before, money is just a tool of exchange at its core element. That sense of security comes from within you, from knowing who you are, what you're here to do, and living that passion daily, regardless of the risks.
Do you think we have a dysfunctional relationship with money?
I absolutely do think that, yes. And we have not only a dysfunctional relationship with money, but we have a dysfunctional relationship with each other and with ourselves as well. So what I'm proposing in the book through the family treasury process is that we apply some of the best practices that businesses use to create wealth, to deliver a service that the world needs, and to bring a team of people together to work together constructively and collaboratively, sort of like in an unemotional, non-dysfunctional manner. And that the same sort of principles can be deployed in the family dynamic to do the same thing.
Okay, well, set the scenario for us. The family is sitting around the table. Go.
All right. I would suggest that the place to start, because this is a journey. The family treasury process is a journey. But the place to start, I would suggest, is with a family roundtable meeting. And in the family roundtable meeting, you can start with a fun exercise that I outline in the book, which is all about helping people to understand what their unique nature and purpose is. And from that, they can celebrate designing a path of wealth creation for each member of the family that works with their unique talents. And an interesting aspect about that process is when you go through that exercise, you can also discover that the family also has a unique mission in itself, a collective vision that they can have that unites them as a family together. And that's where the support system comes from to help each individual reach their own ultimate dreams and goals.
It sounds wonderful to me. Okay, let me play the devil's advocate. I mean, it sounds like you've got to have started with money to get to even get to where you are now. I mean, if you're worried about putting the food on the table and paying the rent and educating your children, paying their university bills, how do you get past all that?
So I would say two things. You don't get past it, you work through it.
Okay.
But what I would say is two things. Again, back to the best business practices. Most businesses, in fact, all businesses, start with nothing, right? But they have a great vision. They have a service that they want to deliver, and they build a team around them to support that process. Nobody makes it in business on their own, right? It's a team exercise. So in the family dynamic, I believe that every single one of us is a wealth creator. We are, I will give you this, we are all on different points on that path. Right? Some have learned to work with that resource more than others. And we all have different levels of awareness about money. So one of the objectives, perhaps, for that first family treasury meeting might be about financial literacy. learning about this energy thing that I call money, how to work with it. Because honestly, how can you have money if you don't know how to work with it?
Well, continuing with playing the devil's advocate, as Kate's saying, I think when survival is on the table, bare bones survival, nobody is going to be interested in talking about how they can support everybody else's dream, because it's simply a matter of how do I survive?
Right. In that situation, isn't the dream about survival? Mm-hmm. Isn't it about having healthy food on the table? Isn't it about education and being able to educate every member of the family? And my suggestion is that collective minds working together as a unit are going to have a better chance of successfully resolving some of those challenges than each individual trying to do it on their own. We have this cultural norm in the Western society that we should all be able to do it all on our own, be independent, get up there, go out there, and go it alone. I really believe, I think it's that African saying that says that, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together.
Well, I think you're probably right when you look at many European families culturally. Right. They all get together and it's a family. The family owns a car, and there are 20 members of the family, and they all use the car. Yes. That kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So, do you think
that's not
makes
a concept that we have here in Western society?
So, do you think perhaps survival being the goal might pull a family together?
Absolutely.
More than something else?
I think that's that particular family's goal. Another particular family could have a completely different one because they may have more of the monetary resources than another family would. But that family you described, they may have better relationships with each other, more loving, respectful relationships with each other than many families that have a lot of money. So it's how best to use the resources that you have and learn to further develop and celebrate those.
So how did you do this with your family? How did you start?
We started fairly young with the family, and I will say that this book is an accumulation of the experiences that we've been through because we, like every other family on the planet, can be as dysfunctional as anybody else. So it's been going through those processes and as business owners, using the tools and strategies that I learned about creating a sustainable, healthy business that we used to navigate through the difficulties and challenges that our family dealt with. And we certainly dealt with some pretty serious, significant challenges. And we are here out the other side have 3 20-year-old children, and still married to the same man that I had when I met when I was 16. And I would say that the number one tool that has helped us be successful is open, honest communication. Communicate. But secondly was, as I said before, we understand what it is to be a member of our family, what we are about, what our unique identity is. And it's through that strength and support and that value system that we've been able to come together as a team and support each member of the family as they stretch themselves to reach their personal goals and potentials.
And does that continue indefinitely?
Absolutely. In fact, I hope it's a generational thing. And the family treasury process that I recommend is all about keeping an inventory of those treasures that you and family have built together and passing them on to the next generation in a healthy, sustainable way.
Now, you are kindly giving 2 books away to the followers of What She Said, so they will be able to find out how they can get a copy on our website. But do you have a website if people want to connect with you?
Yes. We have, it's for the book, it's called truefamilywealth.ca, and you can also find us on Facebook.
And, of course, the tips and strategies that we've talked about can all be found in there?
They are. There is a blog on there. There's lots more, yes. And certainly the book is a more in-depth experience of the process, but there are some tips and strategies talked about in the blogs.
Chris Clarke, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. It was fun.
This is What She Said. Stay with us.